Hi guys, Peter from Fintokei here. Welcome to another episode of Fintokei Stars. Today we will be interviewing another successful trader. This time it's Kamil from Poland. He has been a profitable trader for a long time. He actually managed to increase the value of one of his accounts by 1200%. So you will definitely enjoy this one. Let's go. Hi Kamil, welcome to the Fintokei Stars. It's so nice to see you.
Hi Pat, hi Fintokei, and thank you for an invitation.
Yeah, we actually had a little chat before the interview now, and I have to say you surprised me a lot because you are not only a full-time trader, you are also a published author and you are a trading mentor, so it's quite nice. And I have to say, Polish traders might know you, but could you maybe introduce yourself a little bit for our international viewers?
So my name is Kamil. I'm 34 years old and I've been trading since 2011. Privately, I am husband and father. I have a 4 years old son and a baby daughter who is almost 8 months. And what can I say? Thanks to trading, I can spend more time with my family than I would if I had a regular job, But it's not always easy because my journey to where I am now has never been simple. But I think we will have a chance to talk more about that later in this interview. In general, I do full-time trading and also, as you mentioned, run a small Polish-speaking community where I share my thoughts, ideas, and experiences. I have won a few local competitions, but their level wasn't particularly prestigious, so I don't think they are worth mentioning here. As you said, I wrote my own book, but is currently not available for sale. What can I say more? Trading is my passion. It's more important what we will talking about today than who I am. And what's more, I don't like to talk about myself.
I have to say I absolutely love the part where you said that full-time trading enabled you to spend more time with your family. I think that's super important. We will probably talk about it a little bit more, but let's start at the beginning. The same question that every guest gets, that's what were your trading beginnings and what was the initial impulse that made you say, okay, I'm gonna start trading?
To be honest, there wasn't really a big moment that pushed me into trading. I just came across a broker's advertisement, something like make $500 in 2 minutes. I even don't remember the name of this broker today. And out of curiosity, but also because I needed money, I clicked on it and, well, you know how it goes. I opened my first account, made my first deposit, and just start trading.
Yeah, this is quite special, to be honest. I think most people, it's either wanting more money or just being curious. I see it's the both for you, but I see like most people, they cared about trading before. So you were just completely new to trading, I guess.
Yes, I was completely new.
And did you like watch any movies, perhaps Wall Street or something like that, that made you curious about trading? Or was it just the ad, make quick money fast?
No, I didn't even know what is trading before. I don't watch any movies about that. This was for me something new, and I was full of curiosity. What is it, and is it really possible?
That's nice. That's nice to hear. Did you use demo account before, or did you just jump straight in, like deposit your money and start trading your money, basically?
There wasn't really any gap between starting and making my first trade. I launched the platform, and since I always been good with computer systems, it felt intuitive to me. So let's say I took the bite like a fish, and I made my first deposit of $500, if I remember good.
Oh, that's nice. And can you actually remember your first trade? What instrument was it on, and what strategy did you use? And did you actually make any money on it?
I think everyone remembered their first trade. Mine was on oil. And of course, just like the advertisement promised me, I made $500 in 2 minutes because I opened the position, right before the oil inventory report. But then some kind of red flags appeared, and when my position was in profit, I couldn't close it until it went into loss. So I immediately withdrew my deposit, and I started digging deeper into trading. And at that point, I joined different groups. I was read a lot, observed, and tried to learn. And since I wasn't stupid, I quickly created my first very, very simple trading strategy for DAX because, as you probably know, the German index was probably the most popular asset to trade at the time. Now it's a difference because a lot of people trading Bitcoin, a lot of people trading Nasdaq in Poland, I can say. But back to these times, DAX was definitely most popular asset to trade.
Yeah, this is super cool to hear. It's actually quite surprising, that you actually made money at your first trade. And when I was reading the interview, it surprised me that you actually had a strategy prepared because you knew some fundamentals were going to be released and you prepared for it and you actually made some money. So I think this is kind of special, even the best traders right now, they would tell you that their first trades weren't very amazing. So it's quite nice to hear that you actually made some money. But of course, there was a huge red flag, you not being able to withdraw the money, of course.
Exactly. I couldn't withdraw while I was on profit, and only after taking some loss, I don't remember. I think I managed to withdraw 400 out of $500. But going back to this oil inventory report, for a moment, I only understood it later. And now I know why those event happened in those 2 minutes. But the fact that I took the trade exactly at the moment of the data release was purely a coincidence. And just like the fact I managed to double my account. But now I know that. But at this time, it was totally coincidence.
Oh yeah, so just beginner's luck, I would say.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we will definitely dive deep into your strategy, into the instruments you like, but let's first take a little look at some personality traits of traders, because we'll of course talk about discipline, motivation, inspiration, psychology of the traders. Maybe let's start with the motivation and inspiration first. Do you have someone or something that inspires you? Did you ever have maybe a mentor?
I don't think I have mentor, but there were some people who inspired me. One of them is someone I still mention as my inspiration today, but we lost contact. I don't know what he is doing today. I have no idea what he's up to now, but none of the viewers will probably know who I am talking about. Maybe someone from Poland can know. His name is David, and he used to run and probably still runs, maybe less actively, a blog called speculant.com.pl. And in the beginning, I learned a lot from Steve Mauro, who taught concepts very similar to what most traders are fascinated with today. I mean ICT. The things ICT teaches today aren't new to me. He gained a lot of reach, but he didn't create most of these concepts.
Yeah, that's super interesting because ICT, smart money concept, of course, are the hot thing right now, I would say. But most people don't know that it's just a new fancy name to stuff that's been around for a long time. So maybe it's nice to say that.
Yeah. A certain cult has formed around this methodology, but I think it's not for me to judge. I personally know traders who use ICT and do really well, but in my opinion, the success doesn't come from the methodology itself, but rather from how it shaped their mindset. There are many different paths to becoming a profitable trader. There is many good strategies, but everything comes down to discipline and risk management, regardless of the strategy. In my opinion, of course, if you don't learn those two things, no strategy will ever work for you.
Yeah, absolutely. We will definitely cover that a bit later. First, we are talking about mentors. Perhaps some people that you learned a lot from. So maybe if we could touch the education part a bit more. So of course it's a huge part of being a trader to educate yourself. So can you tell us where did you got your education from and how did it change during your trading journey? Because you've been trading for I think 14 years. Was it 2011, right? Yeah. So I guess it changed a lot.
I think there is three baskets of schools of trading. In one basket, I can place strategies, some complex strategies like ICT, like Chimoku, and other complex strategies. In second baskets, I can place the school of Trader Tom Hugard, Al Brooks, or for example, Pax Trader. There are traders who teach how to make trading as simple as possible, which is the closest to my heart. And the third basket is the school of Peter Stadelmeier or Jim Dalton. And it all depends on what instrument you want to trade, what style suits you, what style suits your experience, and what do you need. I believe that every trader should go through different schools of thought to find what works best for them. Does it change over time? I can say yes, definitely. From my point of view, trading is a full-time job, and I think you have to constantly work on yourself, look for inspiration, and improve your methods. You know what I mean? To don't think about I am the best now, I can everything, I am now a hero. No, you have to be like student all the time. When I started, unfortunately, there were no podcasts, and I didn't follow any YouTubers. I don't know if there exists some. As for books, it's funny. After my first big payout, I ordered about 20 books at once. And when I get this back, my father asked me, "Are you crazy? What are you doing?" I answered, "What's going on? I have ordered 20 books. Can't you order one book, read them, and order another one?" "No, I have to read all these 20 as fast as possible." But is it worth to reading books? Yes, absolutely. Even if it's just for that one sentence that could change your trading.
Yeah, it must have been absolutely insanely overwhelming to read 20 books at once. I can't imagine doing that. But I absolutely love the part when you said that beginner traders should try different strategies. It's not the first strategy that might work for you. It could be the 10th, it could be the 12th, but you need to educate yourself all the time. So I think this is the key part of what you just said. Maybe one more question about education. Do you still educate yourself, or do you have now a refined strategy that you feel comfortable with, or do you still like being curious, still find another strategies?
Yes, I still educating myself right now. I looking for big traders like mentioned before Pax. I looking at Bern, which was in your last episode, And I think it's very important to find some big persons and trying to learn from them, because trader never can say that I am good enough.
Okay, maybe let's continue and let's touch another quite sensitive topic, to be honest, and that's the psychology and mindset part of trading. Because, some traders, they say successful trading is 80% psychology. Some say, okay, it's important, but there are some people who say psychology is completely not important. For example, Bernd, who was our guest last time, he says that psychology isn't that important. He says the most important thing is to have a successful strategy. So maybe what's your take on that? How do you see psychology?
I watched the interview with Bern in last days, and in many ways, it's hard to disagree with him, but based on my own experience and from my perspective, where my methodology has been refined over the years, my view is slightly different. This could be due to difference in approach of trading methods. Bernd approach to trading is completely different from mine. Bernd is a proponent of set and forget swing trading, something like that. I am trading intraday, so it's completely different. And what can I say? Some time ago, I did a webinar when I said that psychology doesn't matter. Either you have a strategy or you don't. If you don't, there is nothing to talk about. If you do, you either follow it or you don't. Some kind of binary system, right? But over time, as I gained more experience, life found a way of proving I was wrong. And I actually started studying psychology to understand the mechanism behind our decisions and the mistakes we make, because we all traders make the same mistakes, in my opinion. And today, I believe that psychology is more than 80% of whether we make it or not in the market. But trading psychology is such a broad and still larger unexplored topic that we will need a separate interview to cover it. But in this topic, I will say about one book. Because out of all the books I read on trading psychology, this one truly impressed me, and this was The Mental Game of Trading by Jared Tendler. And I heard that every prop trader in the US have to read this book obligatory. I don't know is that true, but I heard that. But the position is very, very, very interesting.
Yeah, thanks so much for that recommendation. I like that. I love that take. Okay, let's look a little bit deeper into your trading. Can you find some pivotal moment in your trading career, like you would say your life changed, maybe where you went full-time trading? Is there a moment like that?
Yeah, definitely there were many turning points. One of them, which I especially remember, was when I made around 1,200% return from a small deposit, but it was enough to buy a good car at this time. And I decided to quit my job. But when I did, and my entire income depend on trading, I hit the wall. Definitely, I hit the wall. Everyone thinks that market can give you a freedom, and yes, it can. But in my case, it did while I was still working a regular job. But when I quit my job for trading, I became something like slave to the market. I spent countless hours staring at charts, and for months I was just going in circles with my result. So I went back to a different job with better payment, and for 2 years I was building something of financial cushion, which allowed me to return to full-time trading without worrying about my results, because it's very important. And since 2019, I've been trading full-time. That's 6 years now, almost half of my journey in the markets.
Okay, let's stop here for a minute, because I think this is super important, especially from the psychological point of view, because I guess this must have been super hard on you, because you thought you were super successful. Of course you were, because you did 1200%, which is absolutely amazing. Of course you had some nice money, but suddenly you were full-time trading. I guess you didn't have a big nest egg, you didn't have monthly income, and you just had to make money trading. So how was this on your psychology? It must have been super hard for you.
I think it had a huge impact on my psychology. The hardest part was to understand what is going on actually. You are trading, there is no results, you earn some profit, you give it back, and it's around. And the hardest part was to note this, to note, Kamil, something going wrong. Stop it. It was the hardest part. It was some kind of priceless lesson in humility, and I gained a new perspective on myself, from feeling like a king of the market in my own head, of course. um, I turned into, let's say, a mouse, just trying to grab a small piece of the table whenever possible. Um, Before I was chasing high returns, as we talk, but at that moment I realized that high returns always come with high risk, and if you keep trying to become a millionaire in a short time, sooner or later you would blow up. So I simply lowered my expectations to a very rational level. And just to be clear, it's not like I've been making money every single month since then. There was also some bad and the better times from this 2019. It's important if you can say about yourself, I am the best trader I have ever been. Or other way, I have never been better, as my friend used to say. What's more, today he joined the ranks of ProTraders after passing two phases for 200k euro account. I'm very proud of him, really, because it's my friend. We are together creating some concepts. But to sum it up, being a full-time trader is a daily challenge. It comes with stress and constant worries about the future. And that's why my biggest advice to every beginner trader is respect your work, guys, and appreciate what the market offers you safely and consistently together with your work. Think twice before you go out from your work for trading full time.
Yeah, this is absolutely amazing. I think every beginner trader should listen to this and take some notes, because this is super important. Of course, everyone sees the ups, but of course there can be some downs. And what I absolutely love about your journey is that you actually went back to work. You got a better paying job, and you didn't take it as defeat. You just cleared your head, build your nest egg, and went back to trading, of course, with completely different mindset. So I absolutely love this. This is super good. Okay, let's go a little bit into your trading style. Of course, you already said that you're intraday trader. Have you always been trading intraday, or did you ever try perhaps swing trading or something else?
Oh, hard to say, to be honest. I think I was always the closest to the intraday trading. You know, now I try to open and close my position within the same session to avoid some unexpected risks. Every trader should understand time risk. But how to say it? If you are not a swing trader, the longer you stay in a position, the more risk you take. It's different when the price moves in your favor right away, and you can secure a trade at break even, so there is no real risk. But if the price is just consolidating around your entry, that's not a comfortable situation. That's why I try to enter trades in a way that allows for quick validation. What do I mean by that? When I take a position, I either get stopped out quickly or the price moves in my direction, which allow me to set my stop loss to break even. So I am not a swing trader, although, but of course I sometimes hold position for a few days if there is some nice potential. But I am definitely not a scalper. I don't like scalping. Scalping is exhausting in the long run, and in my opinion, also destructive.
Yeah, I liked a lot the part about the time risk that you said, because I think especially nowadays it's super risky to hold your positions overnight, because of course there's Donald Trump in the White House and he can do tariffs one day, cancel it the same day, so it's super risky to hold your positions overnight. So I think maybe intraday trading is the way to go right now. I think, or I guess you will agree with that.
Is a guarantee of wild rights at the market.
I think we can all agree on that. But of course, we need volatility. Traders need volatility. So at least in that case, Donald Trump is welcomed, of course. Okay, let's talk a little bit about your risk management. I already talked a little bit about it. Of course, you said it's super important. I think probably all traders can agree that risk management is super important. If you think psychology is not that important or education is not that important, I think that all traders will agree that risk management is basically the core of trading. Trading is basically managing risks. So do you agree with that? And what risk management do you use?
That's a great question. I try to keep my daily loss limit below 10% of what I can afford to lose. For example, if my allowed daily loss in a rotating account is 5%, I am to stay below 0.5% risk in one position, of course, or in one setup. It's easy to increase a loss, but much harder to recover from it. And that's why the key is to avoid big losses and think long term, especially in prop trading. When it comes to target levels, I stay flexible. I can't say my risk reward ratio is always 1 to 3 or 1 to 2. Sometimes it's 1 to 3, sometimes it's 1 to 10, but I definitely believe in having a positive risk reward ratio. But I can't imagine risking $500 to make $200. And yes, you are absolutely right. Trading is all about risk control. Every trader needs to understand that it's like playing chess. There are many ways to become a profitable trader or to win the party. You can do it with hundreds of different strategies, but if you don't manage risk properly, then no strategy will help you. Even if you have, let's say, 90% win rate, if you can't control risk, that one losing trade out of 10 can wipe out your account.
Yes, I absolutely love the analogy between chess and trading. I think there are a lot of similarities between those two competitions. Okay, so we already know that you're intraday trader. We kind of know your risk management. Can you tell us what do you like to trade? Are you multi-asset trader, or do you like perhaps DAX, as you talked about it before, or something else?
I like trading indices the most, although sometimes I feel tempted to go back to trading currencies, but when it comes to indices, I have well mastered concepts and patterns. So at this point, I don't think I need anything new. Just I have to work on discipline and work on sticking to my rules. That's why what I am focused on it's improving discipline and becoming the best version of myself as a trader. And as for specific indices, my main focus is on DAX for now, with Nasdaq as my second choice. Both are highly volatile instrument. And what can I say? With every day, I am starting to look to like Nasdaq more.
Yeah, I think those are the two most favorite indices between the clients of Fintokei. We'll definitely go a bit deeper into your strategy a bit later, but first let's talk about trading your own money and prop money or prop accounts. Of course, you've been trading since 2011, so of course you've been trading your own money before that. Can you tell us the differences between trading your own money and trading prop accounts? Maybe what advantages do you think prop accounts have, and how do you trade differently on prop accounts or your money?
4 years, of course, I traded on private accounts, but to be honest, for the past 2 years, I've realized that it doesn't make sense anymore now, because now there is a lot of other opportunities, and now I trade only with Fintokei. What are the advantages of prop trading? This is very simple. You don't have to keep your own funds with a broker on my side, and there is no real financial risk. Your only risk is the challenge fee. And if you know how to trade, in real you take zero risk, because the fee just a little over 0.5% of the capital you apply for is refunded if you pass challenge. So what risk are we even talking about? The only thing I today regret is not finding prop firms 10 years ago, back when I was achieving some extreme results. And you may ask, why don't you achieve them now? Okay, well, the answer is simple. There is a big difference in trading of, I don't know, 21 or 25-year-old with no responsibilities, who can take any risk, trades very differently than me now, than responsible husband and the father of two. If, for example, in the funded account, a young man with no responsibilities make $10,000 at the ProTrader account, he can say, okay, I am the king. The world is mine. Let's go for $50,000. Why not? And me as a father, I can ask myself, hey, Kamil, it's a lot of money. Maybe it's not worth to risk that. The mindset is completely different, and that's why I regret there was no popular and good prop firms when I start.
Yeah, we are definitely glad that you are currently trading only prop accounts and that you are trusting Fintokei. Of course, one other advantage is the capital scaling, because of course, if you're just a normal guy, to save up 100,000 euros, it would take you a lot of time. But here you can have it basically immediately, and as you said it, you only just pay for the challenge. So it's not completely risk-free, but it's almost risk-free. So I think that's one of the most attractive things about prop trading. When it comes to Fintokei, how did you hear about it for the first time, and what made you try one of our challenges?
Probably I used to trade in a, not probably, I used to trade in a futures prop firm, one of them where, the maximum loss limit was 3% probably. But when I analyzed Fintokei rules, I realized it much easier for me. Sure, there are two evaluation phases, but the maximum loss limit is 10%. Another big difference is in payouts. In a futures prop firm, let's say I have 100K account, and if I made $10,000, I could withdraw it, of course, but my account would be closed if I withdraw all. If you withdraw 5,000, there is $5,000 left for your loss limit. If you withdraw 8,000, there is $2,000 left. With Fintokei, I can withdraw my full share, which means in this case 8,000 after profit split, of course. And what is the difference? After then, my account resets. That means I start over with the original amount balance, and I still have the full 10% maximum loss limit. This is big difference. Futures prop firm don't offer that. And what about my first challenge? I passed my first challenge for 100K dollars, probably, or euro, I don't remember, on my first attempt. But it was, I think, thanks to the habits I developed in futures prop firms, where the passing this evaluation was much harder.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Would you say you approach trading differently on prop account versus your own money? Is there something different when you trade those two accounts? Do you maybe risk a little bit more on the prop account or not?
Definitely, the biggest difference is you don't have any risk. In the personal account, every dollar or other currency of loss is your loss. With prop trading, I looking for this from two sides. First side is to pass the challenge. Second step is to get back the fee for challenge and get some 1-2% payout of the account. And now I don't see any risk. This is, I think we can't even compare trading on private account with trading on prop firm account, because it's big difference.
In your trading journey, we of course talked a lot about the big profits, but let's talk a little bit about losses, because of course sooner or later every trader will lose some money, at least at a few trades. How do you react to losses, and did you ever have like a long losing streak?
Treat trading like a business. Losses are like costs, and they are natural part of this business. If you trade according to the rules of your strategy, it shouldn't matter to you whether a position is profitable or is it losing. Do not evaluate your actions in terms of did I make money or did I lose money, but rather in terms of did I do my job well? Did I execute everything according to the rules? Was I disciplined? Of course, I have experienced long losing strikes, but every single time, in every case, the strikes were the result of breaking the rules of the strategy. I believe that for years my strategy has been very good, but You know how it is. We often get caught up in some media noise, in many kind of different things, in some absurd beliefs that make something seem impossible to us. We get biased, and then this discipline becomes hard to maintain. And that's exactly when the losing streaks appeared. When I broke the rules of my strategy. When I stick to the rules, I still experience losses, of course. Sometimes shorter, sometimes longer losing strikes due to the temporary inefficiency of the strategy, but the biggest losses were always the result of the breaking the rules.
Yeah, this is super important lesson. Always stick to your strategy, of course, and always stick to your risk management. Okay, Kamil, can you tell us a little bit about your biggest win at Fintokei?
You know what? I will answer in an unconventional way, because I believe we shouldn't glorify big payouts. Big payouts are for the best traders, and before we became the best, it takes time. I'd rather have the people watching this interview focus on passing the challenge, getting their first payout, even if it's just 1 or 3%, and securing a refund for their challenge fee. And at that point, they can start thinking more boldly. And even if sometimes goes wrong, at least they have withdrawn enough to fund their next attempt. So honestly, it doesn't matter what my first big win was. For the record, it was around 3,200. But this isn't about big wins. It's about consistent wins, repeated over and over, because in the long run, that's what matters. But every payout for me is a kind of big victory. I try to respect every result. I made my first payout after 2, maybe 3 months after I started with Fintokei, and I never rushed to complete the verification phases. I can't understand traders who rush verification phases in 3 days. You can pass one step, you can pass the second step, but in long term, it doesn't work in this way. You can't rush. And to traders who are new to prop trading firms, I want to say that not long ago, having a time limit for passing each stage was the norm in the industry. In the first stage, traders had 30 days to reach the target, and in the second, it was 60 days, if I remember. Since almost the entire industry has removed those limits, prop trading has become much more attractive, because if you have some skill, passing the phases shouldn't be a challenge for you, especially without the time limit. You should manage risk wisely, and it doesn't matter how long it takes you to pass the phase. You just have to pass it, whether it takes 2 weeks or 2 months. What difference does it make? I don't know. You have to learn to think in long term. The market, as well as your favorite asset that you trade, are sometimes attractive and sometimes less attractive. You have to learn to step away from the computer when market conditions are not interesting, when you don't say anything good to trade. You can't force trades. Remember, you have time. You have unlimited time. When traders had only 30 days to pass the first stage, it created some difficulties and pressure. I remember that. Now the pressure is gone. Is it much easier? And yet traders still try to pass the challenge in 3 days. I don't understand why. Is this some kind of Euro jackpot lottery? Do you know what kind of returns the best fund managers in the world make? What they achieve in a year, you are trying to achieve in 3 days. And okay, sometimes it might work, but in long run, this approach will never work. Sooner or later you will fall, more likely sooner than later. Remember, you have a time, and this is not 100-meter sprint, it's a marathon.
Okay, Kamil, so now the last question, the same question for every guest. What is the best piece of trading advice that you have ever received, and who was it from?
Oh, there have been many pieces of advice I've received over the years. For example, when S&P 500 was trading below $2,000, someone told me indices are designed to go up. So Kamil, build your strategies to favor long positions and buy the dips. And I laughed at it back then. Look where we are today. Another one is one of my favorites. Bulls make money, bears make money, but pigs get slaughtered. Not long ago, when my trading performance started to decline because I overcomplicated my strategy, a close friend called me and said, Kamil, go back to basics, simplify it. Remember how you used to trade using simple concepts. And now look, what are you doing? And he was also right. But instead of just listing trading advice, I want to share one piece of advice from me for those who will watch this interview till the end. Imagine yourself in 5 years, and every single day take small steps toward that vision, because you won't build anything great if you risk too much on a single trade. And your future should not depend on one setup or on one day of trading. Step by step, brick by brick, move toward the trader you want to be in 5 years. Think long term, and don't try to build a tower in 3 days. Lay each brick carefully over years.
Thank you so much. This is an amazing way to end this talk. Thanks again. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Kamil. See you next time.
See you.
Okay, that's it for today, guys. A lot of valuable tips in there. I guess if you weren't motivated to start trading before, you must be motivated now. This is the place to be. So see you next time.